In the last chapter, we talked about keyboard focus and how it allows us to use a bunch of key commands without having to use modifier keys like Control or Option. But what about those commands that don't fall into the keyboard focus category? Let's take a look at a few of my favorites. The first thing to remember is that any menu function that has a key command will have the command listed right beside it. So if there's a menu function you keep going back to over and over again, check and see if there's a shortcut you can use. Commands like New, Open, Save, and Bounce to Disk all have shortcuts listed beside them in the menu. I think that these are 4 of the most important key commands because you'll be using them so often. By now, we should all know that you can use the spacebar to play and stop, but there are a lot of cool playback and selection commands that you might not know about. If you've made a selection and you just want Pro Tools to play back that selection, you can press Alt or Option and left square bracket to play the edit selection. We can also use Alt or Option and right square bracket to play back the timeline selection. Of course, if Link Timeline and Edit Selection is enabled, these commands will do exactly the same thing. There are also some great commands for changing your current selection. You can extend your selection to the start of the session by pressing Shift and Return, or extend it to the end of the session by pressing Control or Option plus Shift and Return. You can extend the selection to the next region by pressing Shift and Tab, or to the previous region using Control or Option plus Shift and Tab. You can select every region in a track by triple-clicking with the Selector tool. This is great when you want to consolidate all of the regions on one track to one large region. The key commands that I find myself using the most in Pro Tools are the zoom-in commands. You can zoom in and out horizontally using Controller Command and the square brackets. To view the entire session, simply double-click on the zoomer tool. You can also use the key command Alt or Option A. To zoom to a selection, you can Alt or Option click on the zoomer tool, or just press Alt or Option F. These are just a few of the many key commands in Pro Tools. Remember, there's a PDF file listing all the keyboard shortcuts that you can access in the Help menu.